What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Welcome back to the news with Lloyd here on English TV Live. Hope you are doing very well today, wherever you're watching from in the world. Let us know where you're watching from. Of course, we always like to find out where everybody is joining us from. Today's top story, as you can see, is romantic, or is it? It's not maybe the most romantic story in the world. She said yes. Well, who is this lady? I'm not sure exactly. She's anonymous. A woman said yes to a man's proposal, marriage proposal. However, there's a catch. A catch is something when it's not, how would I explain that? A catch. It's not as easy, not as simple as it seems. There's something that you have to do before this thing can happen, if that makes sense. There's a catch. But hope everybody's doing well today. If you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course, inside our exclusive private community, let me just say hello to our private members here. Mia over in Argentina. Trudy, who I believe is in the Netherlands. She's one of our new members. We have Victor over in Russia. Generations, who's from Malaysia, but currently residing down under. Down under? How do you do an Australian accent? It's not my... Accents are not my strength. Maxim is here as well, also in Russia, over in Siberia. Hope it's warming up over there. Olga is here as well, and everybody else out there watching. Thank you for joining. If you have never watched this show before, The News with Lloyd, this is a show where you can keep up to date, of course, with a recent news story, and also at the same time brush up on your vocabulary. Nice little phrasal verb there. To brush up on means to kind of review and maybe improve on something. So we look at some news articles. These days I've been looking at a lot of more informal news articles. People seem to be enjoying those. Informal because we get to see a lot of more maybe useful vocabulary that you can use in your daily life instead of just kind of more very formal vocabulary, I guess. Anyway, without further ado, why don't we get into this story then? So before we look at it, let me ask you this question. How important how important are engagement rings in your country? Okay, engagement rings. Engagement ring, of course, is the ring that a man, usually a man, gives to a woman when he proposes to her. So asks her to marry him, or asks him to marry him. I mean, you know, these days is could be not only man and woman, of course. Anyway, getting off topic. So, how important are engagement rings in your country? Often engagement rings. If I think about an engagement ring, I think, whoa, that is pretty pricey. And as you're going to see in this story, the value of the engagement ring is a very important consideration, as we're going to find out. So engagement rings. How important are engagement rings in your country? Mia, over in Argentina, says, to my understanding, engagement rings are not important here. All right, interesting. So in Argentina, that's kind of surprising. I would have imagined Argentina, they would be quite important. Sounds like a very romantic type of country, Argentina. On the other hand, Daniel in Mexico says engagement rings are key in Mexico. Something's key. It means it's extremely important. Okay, interesting. I'm getting some good research here. So if you're going to propose to somebody, Mexico is a bad place to do it, unless you have a lot of money in your bank account. Bante says, here they are important. Where are you again, Bante? I'm drawing a blank here. I can't remember which country you're in. Maxim says, I think there is an Adam Ruins Everything episode about the rings. I've never watched that show before. Adam Ruins Everything? I have to check it out. Carmen says, Toby, you didn't send me the reminder. Oh, sorry about that, Carmen. I will have a word with Toby. By the way, to our private members, of course, if you keep watching until the end of this show, Toby will have a quiz for you. Toby Bot. He's our chatbot inside of our community. Lisa says, nice pick behind. Oh yeah, as you can see, I am in a different location now. So greetings, by the way, from Ukraine, from Lviv. Actually, yesterday's show I was here as well, wasn't I, with Emma? Yeah, I like it too. Very nice artwork. And Carmen says, they used to be important in Uruguay, not anymore. Trudy says, it's important here, but they need not be expensive. Okay, so in the Netherlands, according to Trudy, engagement rings are important, but the price is not the important thing. Okay. Well, let's get into the story then. And let's start here. After her boyfriend popped the question at a beautiful, expensive restaurant, one woman was in such a loved-up daze that she didn't take much notice of the ring on her finger. All right, so what's happening here? A boyfriend has popped the question. To pop the question means to ask somebody to marry you. It's probably the most common idiom, expression, I think. Maybe Jacob can tell me if he agrees or not. To pop the question, to ask somebody to marry you. So if you say, did you pop the question? Everybody will understand that you are talking about asking somebody to marry you. To pop the question. Pop the question. Some other ways you could say as well, maybe to get on one knee. You could just say to ask the question, but that could be a little bit more vague. So pop the question, everybody knows that you're talking about marriage. For example, they've been together for 8 years now. Do you think he will ever pop the question? Do you think he will ever pop the question? For example. Next one, to be in a loved up daze. So this lady in this story that we've just started going through here, she was proposed to. Okay, she was proposed to, you can say. He popped the question, and at that moment, of course, she was extremely happy. She was in a loved up daze. To be loved up. Okay, it's a phrasal verb. To be, yes, that's right. To be loved up. To be loved up means to be totally in love. To be totally loved up. You're so in love. You know, you have like heart shapes floating around you. Well, maybe not literally, but you got the idea. So to be loved up. To be totally in love. To be in a daze means to be very confused. You know, often in the cartoons, or maybe not these days, a lot of cartoons when I was growing up, they often had the characters having like birds flying around them or something if they were very confused. What's going on? So it's kind of like you're dizzy, right? You're feeling dizzy. You're in a daze. You don't know what's going on. So to be in a loved up daze means you are so in love. Imagine at that moment, right? He's just proposed to her. She's thinking, oh my God, wow, what's going on? So she's in love. She's feeling a little bit dizzy. She's in a loved up daze. So in that moment, she wasn't really concentrating on anything else. However, when she finally came down from cloud 9, she was less than impressed with her rock. By the way, rock is another word you can use to talk about a diamond. Okay, a rock. If you have a ring on your finger, I don't, as you see, but rock is another word, as a word you can use to describe a diamond ring. So, that's a big rock, right? Often, maybe ladies have got engaged, like, oh my goodness, look at this. Look at the rock on my finger. Okay? So she was on cloud 9. To be on cloud 9 means to be so happy, so excited. So you are extremely happy. You're on cloud 9. But when she came down from cloud 9, she was less than impressed with the engagement ring, the rock. As I said, to come down from cloud 9 means to come back to reality. So maybe something in your life really amazing happens and everything's great, and then reality you can't stay in that that situation, that feeling forever, right? Eventually, you will come down from cloud 9. So, the unnamed woman, so she posted on, I think it was on Reddit, the website Reddit, where people can post about all different types of things. So she posted anonymously on the website Reddit. So we don't know who she was. I think she's in America. Pretty sure that's where she is. The unnamed woman claims her partner of 3 years, the partner she's been with for 3 years, is a doctor who has no debt. Just remember, debt has a silent B. It's not debt, it's debt. Is a doctor who has no debt and earns an easy $200K a year. So this is a nice, natural way. Oh, it's a nice amount of money first, but it's a nice way you can talk about money in the thousands. So you could say $200,000, which is what that means, $200K, but it's a more natural way to say it. Especially these days, become more common, I think. 200K, 1K, 10K. So 10K, $10,000, 200K, $200,000, 1K, 1,000, like that. So K means 1,000. An easy 200K. Now, what is that? What do you think that means? I mean, that doesn't mean, of course, being a doctor is not easy. But if you say, in this case, he earns an easy 200K, it means at least $200,000, at least 200K. So maybe more. Maybe she doesn't know his salary exactly, but she's saying, he earns at least 200K. I mean, he can spend more money on my ring, So she was shocked that her ring looked cheap and the diamond was tiny. So this is, remember, afterwards, after she's come down from cloud 9, she's looking at the ring, she's very happy, but then she's like, hold on a second, this is not the best engagement ring. She thought it looked cheap and the diamond was tiny, or a small rock, you could say as well. After a few days, curiosity got the better of her, and she decided to ask how much the ring had cost. If curiosity gets the better of you, okay, so have you ever heard the expression, curiosity killed the cat? Curiosity killed the cat? If you are too curious about something, maybe something bad could happen. You find out something you don't want to find out, for example. But in this case, curiosity gets the better of you. It means you are too curious and you have to find out whatever it is you're interested in. In this case, she probably spent a couple of days looking at the ring. Is it too? Should I ask him about it? Is it too? Actually, it would be on this hand, wouldn't it? Is this a cheap ring? Should I talk to him about it? And then she decided she had to ask him. But let me ask you, when has curiosity gotten the better of you? Okay, when has curiosity gotten? The present perfect form of got, at least in British English, is gotten. So when has curiosity gotten the better of you? I think maybe Americans say, when has curiosity got the better of you? Let us know your example in the comments. Lisa says, curiosity kills the cat. That's right, yes. Very famous expression. Jacob says, she sounds horrible. Mia says, maybe he should reconsider his decision. Just saying. Grace, welcome to you in our private community. Daniel says, I should have followed my parents' steps and become a doctor. Musician is much sexier, I think. Simona says, I can't see the live. Low connection. Oh dear, hopefully it's just on your side. Hopefully my connection is okay. Mia says, I was in cloud 9 when I passed my law exam. Very good, yeah. Definitely, if you pass an exam or finish an exam, maybe you are, or complete your degree or certificate, whatever, you definitely would be on cloud 9, I imagine. That's a good example. Jacob says, curiosity made the cat wiser. So when has curiosity gotten the better of you? Let us know if you can think of any examples from your life, and then we'll read one more paragraph here, and then we're going to go to another question, the question of the day, and then we're going to go back to the private community. All right. He said he got it for a huge steal. The jeweler, a jeweler is a person who works in a jewelry shop, right? An expert about jewelry. The jeweler said it was worth $1,000, but he got it for $350. So, a steal. Some more vocabulary for you here. A steal is something which is really a really cheap price, but actually it's good value. Okay, a steal. It was a steal. An example in my life, actually, right now, is, as you can see, I'm in a new place here, a new apartment. Just staying here for about a week, probably, while I find another place. But this apartment I got on Airbnb, as I'm sure many of you know the website Airbnb, and the price is pretty amazing. It was a steal. I couldn't believe how cheap it was. Now, I don't have the whole apartment myself. It's kind of a shared bathroom, I think, but I have this huge room to myself. The location is great. I mean, the price was very low. I can't remember exactly how much, but it was really, really cheap. It's really, really cheap, and it was definitely a steal. It was a steal. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the price. When you're very happy about the price that you get for something, you can call it a steal. It doesn't mean that you stole something from somebody, usually. All right, let's come back to some comments here. Jacob says, a noun, a bargain means something different. It's kind of, I would say it's kind of similar to a bargain, a steal. I would say it's kind of the same, it's a very similar thing. But anyway, I'm just going to, hold on a second. All right, we're going to go over to the question of the day, and then we're going to come back into the private community. So for everybody watching out there on the public stream, great to see you. And our private members, I've got a lot of questions for you today. Here's the question for the day, and also I would like to see your answers to the previous question as well. So I will be back in just a couple of seconds. Don't go anywhere, but please write your answers to this question in the comments